guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions. I know I had mentioned that I'm trying to kind of steer away from uploading them frequently. The thing is, I was kind of out of commission for a little bit with my kind of injured hand. I don't really know what was going on there, but I really wasn't able to play with new makeup, much less film and edit. So that's why today I decided to just play with some new makeup. Most of this I have already used at least once, maybe twice. There are a few products that today I am using for the first time, but I for sure do not have a solid review to share with you guys on most of these products, so I'm not necessarily going to be reviewing. I will share my experience while using these and let you guys know what I think about them so far. So yeah, today we're just playing with some makeup and I've got some really good stuff here. Now before we go any further into today's video, if you guys are new to my channel, hello, I am Suzana and makeup is my obsession. More than anything, I'm really into luxury makeup, so if that is your thing, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive into these goodies so you can see them in action. So I'm priming my face and I'm using the Tatcha the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. This is definitely, in my opinion, is so much better than their putty one. For foundation today, this isn't a new foundation, but it's semi-new to me. It's from Uoma Beauty. It is called the Say What Weightless Soft Matte Hydrating Foundation. I have the shade Honey T1N. I've used this a few times already. I'm not sure if I've filmed with it yet, but I love this foundation. It has really high coverage, but it looks really nice on the skin. The only thing is that this shade is a little bit too dark for me, but it's okay because I have something else that's going to, I think, help line up my skin tone a little. Especially, or like more so the center area where I do want to add more brightness. So I'm going to show you guys that in just a little bit. But look at the coverage of this foundation. I don't find it to be like a flat matte. It's more, what would I say this is more like? Let me grab my mirror here so I can see a little closer. Yeah, I would say it's actually more of a natural finish. It just has higher coverage. So I don't have a, well, essentially, I do have a new concealer, but that's from a brand that I'll be doing a brand review on hopefully in the next few weeks. So I'm saving that concealer for then. Instead, I'm going to use this one from KKW Beauty, and I don't remember the name of this concealer. Anyway, I'm using the shade 7. And I just found this brand new one that I had stored away with my other backup products. And I remember how much I enjoy this concealer. I usually would use number 7 and 5. The shade 5 helps add some brightness, but it's okay. We'll just use this for now. So La Mer came out with a new foundation. It's actually a powder foundation, and I love me a powder foundation. So when I saw this, I got really excited because I had not heard anything about it. The thing is that I hesitated a little bit. So when I went back to go ahead and purchase it, they were no longer available on the website. Now I think it was the next day that I saw it was back up, so I rushed and picked out what I thought was my shade, which by the way is completely off, and well, I purchased it. Well, I ended up purchasing the refill. So this is called the Soft Moisture Powder Foundation. It has an SPF of 30, which is always a nice addition. And I ended up picking up the shade Beach, which is number 13. And yeah, this shade is way too light for me. So like I said, I ended up picking up just a refill portion. Like I don't know how I missed that. I had seen it the day before and I know the whole thing was available. But yeah, so it comes with an extra sponge and then this here. And as you can see, this shade is just way too light for me. But it does feel really nice. There's no way I'm going to be able to pull off this shade that I have. So I have just been using it on my T-zone to add a little bit more coverage in this area here sometimes where I do have more redness, to help conceal my under eyes a little bit more. So that's how we're going to use it today. This is how I'm going to demo it. And then yeah, I'm just going to be keeping it in here for now. So I'm going to use a brush because this is a foundation. It does give more coverage. So if I were to use a sponge, with the fact that I've already applied foundation and concealer, it's going to look too heavy. So we'll just use a brush, and then I'm going to set my under eye and just this center area of my face. Alright, I think that's enough. I don't really want to over apply. Yeah, I'm such a dummy. I cannot believe I did that. When I realized it, I was like, do you not know how to read? So now for bronzer, I have tested this one out a few times and I think it is gorgeous. Do you need it? Probably not. It's super expensive, but it is a luxury product, so I had to have it. But yeah, I don't think it's like a super necessary. I still think though that it's beautiful, and it is the new bronzer from Gucci. I have the shade number 2, and this was available at Sephora. I believe they came out with a total of 5 shades, but yeah, it's no longer available on the website for now, so we're gonna have to wait for it to become available through other retailers. But that is the shade. I actually think this color is perfect for my skin tone. I was actually debating on getting this one or the medium shade because this one's described as light. I was debating between the light and the medium. They did have a fair shade as well, and then 2 deeper shades, so it was 5 in total. But the medium looked too dark for me. It almost looked like it might have a red undertone to it, so that's why I decided to go with this one. And like right off the bat, you get quite a bit of pigment there. Really, oh, really gorgeous. It does have a fragrance, but it's not like too overpowering, and once you apply it on your face, you don't really smell it anymore. But I do see this, like this shade is for sure perfect for me. I cannot even imagine how dark the other one would have looked on me. So good choice, Suzana, good choice. And let me actually show you guys the packaging of this a little bit better because it is gorgeous. It's almost like that Tiffany blue shade. It's got this gold rim around. Here is the back portion. And I'm guessing these are also going to be refillable because once you push this up, it does come with a little brush. And then up here, you guys can see if you stick in the little needle, you should be able to then replace the powder that's inside. The packaging of this is actually the same as their pressed powder. This is also new. I don't think this has become available here in the States yet, but this is how that face powder looks inside. The shade I have is 5. I can make this one work, but I do wish I had gone for shade 4. Alright, so I do have a new blush. This is from Lawless. They just released several new shades. I think they released both matte and shimmery shades. I got the matte shade in Vintage Love. And let's do a swatch. I have not even swatched this yet. Ooh, that actually looks like it has some pretty nice pigment. Oh, that is a really pretty shade. It's very like subtle. It's a very natural looking blush. I feel like I kind of went for like the dullest looking shade, but I felt like, honestly, I really wanted Phoenix, and Phoenix is like this, almost like a burnt orange. It looks so beautiful. The thing is that I have so many orange blushes right now, so I don't really need it. I do want it though, but I think I did good with this one. This one's really, really pretty. It's kind of mauve-y almost, but I feel like it's very strong though on the pink side of a mauve-y shade. Okay, this is really good. I hope it lasts all day. I know blushes, that's usually the thing, is after just like a few hours, it's pretty much gone. So I don't know if I have shown you guys this other shade that I picked up from Dolce & Gabbana. This is part of their Solo Glow Illuminating Powder Duo. I have another highlighter that's a golden finish. This is number 2 Peach Blossom. I don't really feel like it looks very peachy on the pan. And then I'll put these down here. To me, this looks more pink. So I did kind of think that this would look good with the blush that we used. So I'm going to use, actually, you know what? I'll use the highlighter and then I'll apply a little bit of this blush because that does have a radiant finish. We can use it kind of as a topper over the Lawless one. So, ooh, that picks up quite a bit. Let me tap some off. So I ended up picking this one up from Harrods when I got the lighter bronzer shade. I had picked up the shade 50 and I really loved how that looked on me, but I was extremely interested in the lighter shade. So when they came back in stock, this also came back in stock, so I decided to give this one a try as well. And I've only used this one once, and it was kind of like at the end of the day when I was just playing with some makeup. So I can't really remember what I had thought about it, but it looks nice. It's not like a super pop-in highlighter, and it's one of those that after a little bit is going to look a lot better on the skin, because at first it almost kind of just sits there. But it'll start working with your natural oils and look much better shortly after applying. So I'll pick up some of this blush. Probably too much there. I'm going to try to avoid this area because I have quite a bit of texture right now there. Ooh, that looks pretty. Yeah, I don't think this is peach at all. You see that's a glowy cheek there. Sorry, the sunlight is coming in through this window on the side I have here. So I'm not sure how well you guys are able to see the beauty of this cheek right now, but I do. I like it. I'm happy I did end up getting that. I went ahead and did my brows. I used the wrong shade. This is the ABH Brow Wiz in the shade medium brown. Ebony suits me a lot better. I don't know where Ebony is right now. And then I also used a little bit of this. It's also from ABH. It's the Tinted Brow Gel. This I don't recommend. No. I am just trying to use mine up. I have it. I need to use what I have, so that's why I'm using it, but I don't really like it. I also went ahead and primed my eyes. I used my Fenty Beauty eye primer, the best. And for my eyes today, we're going to use this beautiful palette from YSL. This is called the Couture Color Clutch. It is the 10 color eye palette. Now this I was not, okay, so when I first saw it, I was like, okay, I need to have that. I love the packaging. It literally looks like a clutch. So it is beautiful, gorgeous, love it. It's got the gold rim around and this kind of like faux leather. I'm not sure what this is called here. And it's got the YSL logo going down there in the middle. You get a beautiful sized mirror, and then you get your 10 shades. When I first saw it, I was like, yeah, I've got to have that. Yes, yes, yes. But I was mostly looking at the packaging of this and then considering the fact that I don't really have any, I'm trying to think, but no, I don't have any YSL eyeshadow palettes. So I thought, wow, this is going to be a good one to start off with. But then, I mean, pictures of this had released a while before these actual palettes were released. So when I was seeing pictures over and over again from different accounts on Instagram, I kind of became a little bit underwhelmed with it. I thought, you know, I don't think it's all that. So I ended up changing my mind and I had decided to not pick it up. Well, I'm sitting here with the palette in my hands because once it was released on the Selfridges website, I went in and there were actual swatches of this and I thought the swatches looked really good. I ended up then breaking up this palette into like quads. So if you look at it with just like looking at these 4 colors, I think that looks beautiful. And then if you look at it with just looking at these 4 colors, I think that looks gorgeous. And then these 4 would create such a beautiful look as well, and then these will create another beautiful look. So then I convinced myself to go ahead and buy it. I actually got it right before I got injured, so I wasn't really able to play with it. Honestly, even swatching it was painful, so I'm not sure if that's why I was underwhelmed with my swatches of this, or if it's just that this is probably not as pigmented as I was hoping it would be. So let's go ahead and actually do some swatches. I'm gonna go ahead and just do an eye look using this, and I'll let you guys know what I think. All done with the eye look, I went ahead and applied some mascara. I used this Marc Jacob at Lash'd mascara. I really like this one, like really like it. At first I wasn't too sure about it, but usually with mascaras you just give it a few weeks and they perform so much better. That's definitely the case with this one. As far as the eyeshadow palette, I really like this eye look. I'm a little bit underwhelmed with this gold shade here. It looks like it's more of a dry metallic shade, so if you want it to be more of a true like metallic, almost wet looking, you might need to use it wet. I don't think it looks bad at all, but it is a little bit underwhelming. I used pretty much every shade from this palette except this silver one. I'm really not into silver shades like this on my eyes. I love to swatch these though because it looks so beautiful. I just don't really use them. Now that I'm done with this eye look, I think it looks beautiful. I love how all of these colors that I applied work together. The thing is, it took quite some time to create this eye look. I didn't do anything fancy. I was just trying to use as many shades as possible, but I really had to layer on these shades to get the pigment that I wanted. So it's definitely not a palette that I think is very user-friendly. You really have to take your time and work with these shadows, because from working with these today, I can definitely tell it's going to be a little time-consuming. Nonetheless, though, this palette is really pretty. I just was hoping that the pigments would be a little bit more as they look on the pan upon first applying. You can get most of these to that intensity, but you have to continuously layer. And for me, that's definitely a drawback. I for sure knock off some points. I can see if maybe one color was like that, you know, more so the yellow one. I can accept it more from the yellow, but this on the inner corner, I was hoping it would look a lot more brighter. I definitely don't really see any of that glitter that's noticeable on the pan. I'm not surprised by that, but I was hoping to build that color so it can show up a little bit more, a little more intense. And I went in several times. This is as intense as I can get it. And that is disappointing because ColourPop a very affordable brand, has created some beautiful, very pigmented yellow shades, and this one definitely falls short. I mean, other than that, this is a nice palette. It's definitely not one that I'm gonna tell anybody to run out and get. No, not at all. I mean, the packaging though is gorgeous. I guess I'm just going to have to play with them a little bit more to really tell you guys how I truly feel about this palette. All right, so for lips, I picked up a few more shades of these glosses from Givenchy. I love these. So I already had shade 30 and I've shown that one on my channel a few times, and that is more of a corally gloss. But I wanted these shades as well, so I bit the bullet and I got them for myself, and I love them. The only thing I do not like about these is the scent. I can taste it. It kind of does linger, but I really like the applicator of these. It's got a pretty flexible applicator. It's long and kind of thin as well. So I picked up the shade 001, number 17, and number 22. For today in the look I have going on, I think I'm gonna go with 22. I've gotta say, I do not like how this cap looks with the color of this gloss. I just feel like it doesn't match. To me, it almost looks like I'm using a cap from a different gloss, but that's just me. That's just me. Things like that bother me. So we're all done with the final look using some new goodies. If you guys have tried any of these, or if there are new releases that you want me to try out, let me know in the comments down below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really does help me out a lot. And while you're there, if you have not yet, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Until next time.